You're the average of your 5 best friends. Or another way of looking at it is you're the average of the people that you spend the most time with. So if you work all the time, for example, the people around you are influencing you heavily. In other words, the system has a lot of influence on you, especially if they're paying your salary. That's added baggage into the equation. And so if there is a conflict there, that's going to start to rub off on you.
Yeah, but I think the benefit is, and what you're getting at with your argument is that if there are doctors that go into the entrepreneurial space while still being attached to medicine, and there are more and more of those doctors that do that, there are going to be more and more doctors who spend time with those doctors, right? And then that's how the needle starts to move, because you have this cadre of people who see, oh, that's possible, that I can do that, and then I can make things change, right? And as that group grows, there's this grassroots effort that then can hopefully eventually put pressure on the system and change the system. So that power of five, or the people you spend the most time with argument, can be beneficial, but historically, doctors haven't been doctors and entrepreneurs. Like, this is a newer thing in the last, 5-10 years. I guess maybe if you exclude real estate, which is more traditional, I guess people have always been involved with that to some extent, but not for the same reasons, and definitely not a lot of the other things that doctors have stepped into in the last 10 years.
Yeah, I think doctors can do whatever they set their mind to. Once they decide they're going to do something, a lot of it is mindset. And that's my opinion, is that a lot of that is mindset. And when you're super smart, like, you have a pretty big leg up. Go hang out with some of the average entrepreneurs. Like, my buddies that are entrepreneurs, they're not the smartest. I mean, we'll talk about it too. Like, they're not the smartest guys in the class, but they're like pretty courageous. Like, they'll take risks.
Yeah, man, I've spent so much time coaching on this one topic. So the thing that prevents doctors from stepping into the space, like on the outset, is fear. They are afraid of failing. The amount of courage that it takes as a physician who has, let's walk the classic road of a doctor, right? Going through undergrad, getting great grades, going to medical school, doing everything they're supposed to do, taking the exams, passing them. Like, they have this very straight and narrow road with blinders on that they have to like go through all these hoops. And it's very guided. There's not really, as long as you put the work in and do what you're supposed to do, for those that make it, like, they have this story that I've always been successful. And yeah, they've probably had some hurdles. They probably had some triumphs, some obstacles they had to overcome. But then when they get done with training, and now all of a sudden there's not like hey, this is the next step. Like, now they're like, what do I do? And some of that is, I could do this traditional thing that's set in front of me, or I could do this other thing that scares me to death, has the possibility of failing, but I know has the possibility of making me happier. But I'm not going to do that because doctors don't fail. And I'm not willing to risk failure to go pursue that. And so, like, that fear, which is why on the Physician Philosopher podcast, the tagline, start before you're ready, start by starting, start now. It's because you just have to get going. Like, that inertia, that activation energy that doctors have to overcome in order to take that leap is massive. But when they do, and they land on their 2 feet and they realize, oh, I am actually really smart. And oh, I actually can learn from failure. This isn't the end of my world if I fail. They can be some of the most successful entrepreneurs. But that first step of getting started is so hard for so many doctors.
Yeah, I would agree, fear is the most common hurdle.